Keep that back, JJ. And with that, we are back with another session of Light of Thylea, playing Odyssey of the Dragonlords with the wonderful people right next to me here. You may notice two different things this week. Number one, we are starting a little bit later. That is going to be the norm going forward. We're going to start at 9:30 p.m. EST, and it's all Clancy's fault. Everybody, no, I'm just kidding. We are just... we value
she's also the one who pays the price for it. So,
right, you know. She's gonna be the most tired out of all of us, so it's kind of like.
But yeah, we value education over here. Oh, goodbye, Tyler. And so we are going to just start a little half hour later than normal, just to make sure that is done well. Other than that, we are also down a player. You may have noticed that player is Jason, and it looks like we're also down Tyler. With that in mind,
my camera is freaking out.
Get your shit together.
If you try to figure out what
I actually don't want to play. Actually, no, I'm here now.
If you want to figure out what happened to Jason, I highly recommend that you guys might check out last week's episode. Shit happened. And I'm not even going to recap. You need to go watch it in order to do it justice. Other than that, as far as nerd news goes, there's two things that I think I'd love to announce, and then if you guys have anything else, let me know. One, I became part of the cult on the Polyhedra Discord with Dungeon Crawler Carl. Lit RPGs are now definitely high up on the list of things that I enjoy. I highly recommend you guys check it out too. I'm not going to be proselytizing as the rest of the server may have, but I will point out that what's his name? The guy who makes Family Guy. Seth Farland? Is that his name?
Seth MacFarlane.
McFarland. That one. He and his company or whatever else bought up the rights to produce a show based on Dungeon Crawler Carl, so that should be fun. We'll see how that turns out. High hopes for that. We'll see if it pans out. The other one, because I'm also a Brandon Sanderson nerd. If you have been following, the new book is going to come out in December. They have somehow, for some reason, already released like 8 or 9 chapters of the book. I'm like, okay, I know that he has like 70 chapters, but also really, stop it. I have not read them so far. But also really fun news for us TTRPG nerds. The Cosmere RPG is doing extremely well. They made a TTRPG just based on not just the one world that he created in Stormlight, but the entire cosmos. And that one is currently the highest grossing Kickstarter RPG anything of all time. And that's really, really, really neat. They're above $11 million right now. So that's cool. I think that's actually higher than even Critical Role's Kickstarter to do the animated series, which is, again, mind-boggling. It is the age of TTRPGs, and I'm just excited to be part of it. Anyway, that's it from me. Is there anything that you guys have before we get back into it?
I mean, I was looking at that stuff you mentioned earlier with the upcoming stuff for D&D, and I just want to tell everybody, don't get your hopes up. They used to give us complete books for each one of those locations that they're going to all cram into one book now. And look at what they did with Van Richten's, and look at what they did with Planescape. We're still going to get overcharged for crappier shit than they gave us in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd edition.
But he's not mad, you guys. He's not mad.
I'm just going to join David on the Pathfinder side of the fence and just let Wizards go fuck themselves at this point. I've given them enough of my money over the last 35 years.
It is, man, do I want to get into this one? I probably won't get completely into this one. But what I will say is, if you're excited for not 5.5e, but the 2024 edition, so that they don't scare people off with different editioning. Be excited for it. It's awesome. You're going to have to relearn the system a little bit from what it looks like, but by and large, it's the same thing. If you want to spend that time learning another system that has things balanced and polished and feels good all the way to level 20, I highly recommend Pathfinder 2nd Edition as well. It is pretty fun. Plus, Starfinder 2nd Edition is coming around the corner. And I mentioned it already! There's the Cosmere RPG, which I will be running some free one-shots on the server here, so... Shit, I talked myself into a shilly thing. Join us at discord.gg/Polyhedra. That's right. Come join us on the Discord, and you'll be able to play some games with us. But I will say Sigil, the way that they have presented it, looks good. It looks like a polished version of Tailspire combined with Dungeon Alchemist. They have an actual world, map builder that they showcased. But we'll see how it goes actually by I don't know, by that beta round that will happen next month. So we'll see how it goes. We'll keep you guys posted. Anyways, yeah, if you're excited for it, stay excited for it. 2024 edition, whatever the fuck you want to call it, looks like it's going to be more powerful. So for those of you that enjoy the power bump, that is going to keep creeping up. So be excited, because that's going to just only go up. Also, there's a lot of partnerships, from MCDM to the Dungeon Dudes to Hitpoint Press to Cobalt Press. All the big names of third-party publishers are making deals with D&D Beyond, and that's going to be integrated. Also, I will give Paizo shit in a second as well. WotC almost got themselves in hot water because they were going to turn off all of the legacy content for 5th edition on D&D Beyond. And then Reddit started to, there were these pitchforks. They weren't even buried. They were just left on the ground after the OGL. They immediately picked them back up. So thankfully you walked that back, and it's now possible. I will give momentary shit to Paizo, and then also they did something similar. Paizo was going to change the fan content policy. Similar to the stuff if you wanted to create something for Paizo, they had changed the rules on that, and the wording was a little bit corporate, and people started getting a little bit outraged with it. Paizo immediately they announced that right before Gen Con, and then because all of their CEOs or like C-suite staff was out, they couldn't really respond to it. And then after Gen Con, they immediately went, you know what, this had a lot of negative feedback, we're just not going to do it. So there's that. Anyway, that is it for the nerd news. I know that these folks are absolutely itching to get back into the game, so let's do that. Lyra, Darian, and Daphne. The world shook as the massive metallic structure that you found yourself in after you teleported through the portal back in the capital of Themis. And everything is at a slant. You heard the massive creature underneath your feet thrash and throw itself against the walls as the small hole in space, time, and existence itself burrowed itself through its cranial plate and down into its brain. Everything sways back and forth. You hear the groaning of a sound like massive metallic chains going back and forth. Lyra, how do you feel now that you have eliminated another one of these kaiju-sized monsters that apparently are all throughout the land here? Who knows how many there are?
I think mainly relieved that we didn't fall into another fight, because none of us are even close to prepared to have another fight right now. So she's thankful for that. I mean, she's happy that she killed whatever it is, but she doesn't know what it was, so I don't think she is as ecstatic as, like, me in real life who does know what it is.
You catch the eyes of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say she's grateful that we don't have to fight it, but also worried because there is still someone else on this cube with us that is potentially falling into nothing. I don't know what's going on. So it's like relief and panic at the same time.
You see the eyes of the other two fates looking at you. Daphne, Darian, how would you describe your current expression?
Do you want to go first?
I mean, you said that we're like now like on our side, right? Because the cube fell. I'm probably like, did we die? Are we okay? Like, I think Darian's just like in shock because we killed that thing and the cube fell. So she's just like, is everybody good? But also whispering because she doesn't want anyone to hear.
Right, we don't want to alert anyone that we're here, other than the fact that the entire room just fell on its side.
If I whisper it, it's not.
How are they gonna know it's us? How are they gonna know? Sorry. Daphne's probably looking concerned. Because I don't know, do we know that the Trask is dead now?
Go ahead and make me a perception check, Daphne.
I'm great at these. Let's do it. First roll of the night. It's okay to mess this one up, right? Solid 10.
Everything, aside from the creaking and groaning of massive metallic links, seems to be quiet. Actually, that's not completely true. You swear you hear something, but it's too faint to really make out. It's some kind of a constant noise.
Darian.
Some kind of a
Darian, open your ears.
What?
Open your ears, Darian.
Should have listened.
Darian, your eardrums explode as there's so much that you suddenly hear. Go to make me a separate perception check.
Open
my
your
God.
ears, Darian. Tell us what you're...
Not that good.
Not that good. She rolled a 10 and got a 25.
I rolled 2 10s.
You know?
I rolled 2 10s for
I
that.
rolled a 10 and you know what? I get a 10.
Okay.
You,
I listen. I open my eyes.
you hear the pounding of your own heart in your chest slowly starting to thrum down. You can feel the goosebumps on your skin, and the adrenaline is starting to ebb away, and the tiredness, the exhaustion of everything that you have been through, from bringing back your mom and becoming a fate, fighting Amazons, Medusas, Moxena herself, arriving in whatever the fuck this thing is, and killing some type of huge monster. It's all just swirling, and the exhaustion is kind of lapping over you, and you realize that sensation of just like wave after wave of exhaustion and trying to like stay awake. It comes and goes with another rhythm. A rhythm of massive amounts of water swishing. Like waves. Not crashing, but just moving across one another. As far as you can tell, the sound seems to be coming from where you had come from with the stairs.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
I'm hearing water. Did we see water at all when we looked down that?
It was just a staircase that seemed to descend into darkness, and even like outside of the purview of your guys' special vision.
I don't remember any water anywhere.
Yeah. Clue?
We should probably not be here in this room anymore, I don't think.
Okay, that's fair.
The spheres, they're still there, right? Are they still working?
You walk up to the spheres, and yes, they are.
Have they changed at all from when we looked at them prior to pressing Annihilate?
Yes, they have turned all into like a pinkish red color. And you see warnings kind of hovering, the words maybe like an inch or so above the hovering spheres in this metallic room.
And we all can speak, what was it, Giant and Celestial? Those were like the 2 words that we saw. So it's just telling us, warning, something's wrong.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So recap, the other room were worms?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Thousands upon thousands of worms.
That sounds like a great place to go, don't you think?
Mermikis, maybe, somewhere. And the other 2 were both Tarask, right? Just different viewpoints of Tarask.
Yeah, one was like overall, and then the Annihilate.
As you're piecing them together, you think one was just like a magical holographic representation of the same Tarask that you could see through the actual view hole.
And one was the black dot that we saw, and we didn't know what it was. It was a camera, apparently.
It was more like a port. It was an actual window.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you put us back on the scene
No. At this point, this is
Okay.
going to be a theater of the mind. I will let you guys.
David, I'm so bad at that.
I know. I'll walk you through it. Don't worry about it.
Well, do we
There
want
was
to?
a room to the left, right?
There was a
Of
room
the-
south of us.
Let me ask this way. What's your intention? Would you like to explore the rest of the rooms in this level? Would you want to go down the stairs or would you want to go up the stairs? It seems like, as a reminder, the portal that had connected you to Themis is gone.
Oh, right.
I would personally want to go. If we fell, I would want to go up. Right?
Right.
We think
Especially
we
if
fell.
there's water, yeah.
Yep.
Whichever
So at
direction
least-
would be higher ground, I guess.
Yeah.
Oriented
I don't want to
the
stay
way
in the
that we
cube.
are.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys go back towards the staircase as it loops itself up, a spiraling, fairly tall ascent. You walk what feels like at least 80 feet. And finally, as the stairs disappear from blocking your view, you look up and you see a massive round metallic door. Upon it seems to be a small metallic wheel. In the center of that wheel itself is a rune. And you can see that this rune, in this titanic dialect of Celestial, this mixture between Giant and Celestial, says access, egress. And you can sense, with the three of you being there, that it does have some kind of magical property. If one of you wants to make an Arcana check, you certainly can.
I can try.
Go for it.
Just one person? Who's better? Who's
Is it just one or I have a +7.
You're one better than me. Go for it, boo.
Oh great, now I'm gonna roll like 2 2s.
Oh, don't
All
say
right.
that. Come on.
I got a 24.
You look upon
Not
it and
a Jew.
you immediately realize it is akin to a spell that Yanni has told you many times before, a glyph of warding. You had thought of different plans where maybe you put the glyph inside a book, open it up, it's like, haha, fucker, and it would just cast the spell directly in their face. But then there's a weird tug, and you see that all of the tattoos upon your bodies begin to glow in what looks like a light blue cerulean color. It's like lines of light shining up from your tattoos. The light is almost like a searchlight, except it is only focused. It's almost like there's a light that is moving inside of your body, smaller than your actual body. And as it moves around, the color seems to kind of coalesce within your left arm. All of the tattoos are shining brighter in a singular spot, feathering out in like a gradient as it moves into your left hand. And you can see that all the tattoos that end in that left hand are glowing the brightest.
Well, obviously I'm gonna touch it.
Well, maybe we all need to touch it at the same time, like a group. Like
We'll make it all one group project. Open up a door.
Are all of our hands glowing?
Nope, just yours.
oh, it's just yours. Okay, you touch it. You
This
have
is
the
all
glowing
you,
hand.
girl. This is all you.
I mean, if you want to touch
Go for
it.
it.
No. You're the glowing hand. You touch
I
it.
touched the last thing that showed up in front of us. So.
And you did such a great job.
You did.
Honestly,
You
you should do it
did.
again.
All right, I touch it.
A flash of bright blue light suddenly blinds all three of you, you especially, Darian. And as the light just kind of slowly recedes, you hear just like the deep rumbling sound of massive gears unlocking, and then you hear what sounds like almost a hissing sound, like something being released, air rushing into the room, and immediately the smell of salt assaults your nose. It is
Oh, like the
Thereafter.
ocean. I was like, salt, gross.
it is thereafter followed by something else, faint. Darian, you sense the temperature immediately drop, where inside of this metallic structure was a pretty balmy 70 degrees. The air that is now pushing into the cube is dropping quickly. You can see your breath. Daphne, your hairs immediately start to raise on end along your arms. There's a tinge of a smell upon the air that you have smelled before. All of you have, but you're the one who fought a creature of demonic origin face to face before. The mixture between sulfur and almost rotting flesh, so faint of a scent upon the air, assails your nostril. And now, Darian, you can hear the sound of the water.
I will poke my head out of the to see what I can see.
This is a vorpal porthole. As you step out, no, I'm just kidding. You put it to the side. You climb out of it. And it is kind of like that scene in Harry Potter where Bellatrix gets out of... oh man, what is the prison called again? Help me out, guys.
Azkaban?
Azkaban?
Where she kind of steps out and suddenly the camera just zooms out of this.
Oh, and everything's just like exploded?
Yeah, except not exploded on this one. As you kind of like look out and the camera begins to zoom out, we see your face in shock, Darian, because you look around and you can see the rivulets of souls hundreds of miles away on the edges of the Nether Sea. You look about you and you can see the waters. Where before there were thousands upon thousands of translucent souls, these seem to have been removed. The waters are moving. The waters are still there, deep, black, allowing no sight to its very depths. But where before there were souls that were perpetually drowning, translucent, lost, you now see nothing. Except as we follow your eyes and the camera slowly pans over, you see that maybe another 50 miles from your current position, as you're kind of hanging off the side there, is another one of these massive metallic structures. Maybe an eighth of a mile in size. You can see perfectly cubic. The thing, including the one that you're on, is completely made out of adamantine. You can see that the other cube similarly is as well, and has massive chains, 4 of them, to each corner of the cube on its top side attached. You further see that they're super massive timepieces, hourglasses attached to the top of these structures. You look behind you and you can see that there was one on yours as well, but it must have fallen off with the crash. Go ahead and make me a perception check, Darian.
$32.
There she is.
That's more like it.
You squint at the hourglass, and you realize there's certainly no sand. Not even boulders, but something alive, squirming inside of those hourglass. As multiple. You focus further and you can see that behind the cube that you see 50 miles off, overlaid is another one. And another one. And another one. An entire array, a line of these cubes. As you look up, it seems like these chains just go out into a star-filled sky, just connecting into nothingness. And you realize that there must be maybe another 3 or so cubes at least down this way. The squirming things inside of the hourglasses with the 32. You focus. And you suddenly see that some of them seems to jet themselves up instead of down. And you realize that some of them have the ability to levitate? No, that's not levitation. There's movement. Very quick movement. Back and forth. Almost like a thrum. Almost like it is hard to see. Like a shimmer of heat on the air. But not heat. Wings. Thin, translucent, insectoid. You realize that these hourglasses are filled with thousands upon thousands of Myrmikis each, perpetually being pushed down to the bottom, perpetually trying to get back up.
Is it bad, Darian? Are we in Arisha again? What do you see?
I think Darian is actually speechless for a moment. And then she's gonna look down and she's gonna be like, It's not good. It's really not good. And she's gonna start flying. Because we can do that. I forgot about that. So you said that the hourglass that was above this one fell, probably, right?
It seems to be detached. It had its own chain that kind of hung down, and it definitely snapped off during the wild thrashing of the unnamed giant creature.
Sorry.
When I look at those hourglasses,
Chad.
It's Terry.
Terry. Does
Chad
the bottom look
hole in the wall? We'll say it's Chad.
Does the hourglass bottom, even though I know they're trying to climb up to the top, does it look pretty full? Does it look?
Can I tell? It's about a quarter to a third filled. If it's like if it was top to bottom of the hourglass, it's maybe like a third filled. To my.
And I'm not seeing any other large creatures like what we just killed.
You look around and you can kind of see across. No. Yes. You were so focused on the things that were kind of on the level that you're at that you kind of like climb out of the thing and you look over the edge as you're hanging there, kind of like at that incline. It's like climbing up a metallic sand dune, right? And you look over the edge and you can see that far below is a barge, which is just a fancy word for a boat. In front of that boat, you can see a chain, a double set of chains that extends from the front bottom of the ship out of the water itself upwards. It then extends, and these are massive chains. Maybe not as massive as the cubes that you're currently on, but certainly each link large enough to maybe crush you in a single fall. You see that the chains extend over the shoulders of a giant. You can see gray skin rippling with muscle, but mottled with age, and you can see barnacles having attached to some spots. You can see just random smudge and sludge that had attached itself to this gigantic body. Male in appearance, but completely naked, at least from the waist up, which that is what you can see as the rest of the body extends down into the water. You can see that the chains themselves have been driven into the body of the creature with huge adamantine spikes, the spikes sticking out the back. You see that the eyes of this titanic creature are sewed shut, as well as its lips. And when I say eyes, I mean 3.
We saw this, I just don't remember who saw it.
Does Daphne know who he is?
All 3 of you roll me a history
check. Please.
I'm like, should I act like I don't know who it is? Should I act like I do? I don't remember who saw this.
God damn.
Yep, that checks out.
That sounds pretty good.
I don't know how she knows anything, but she does, I guess.
Darian, you have been just embarrassed so many different times by your lack of knowledge and just general contextual awareness of things in this world that you told yourself, fuck him. The next time the shit comes up, I'm gonna know everything. Fuck you. And you read up. The group certainly took some notes. You went through the academy before it collapsed. And you read about the many other siblings that Sidon and Lutheria had, according to the creation legend. Almost a dozen or so, to some accounts. But all the other siblings disappeared, and the world became Sidon and Lutheria's. Husband and wife. Siblings. Twins. It appears that below you is one of the lost titans. You recall this titan's name to be Thylea, the namesake for one of the sons of Lutheria and Sidon. Legend had it, and this is a dark fairy tale, that especially the Fey folk tell their children if they misbehave. Lutheria tricked Thylea to come down to the netherworld, where she gave him a sleeping draught. She cast a spell on him. She plucked out his eyes, sewed his mouth shut, and enslaved him. But that defeat was not enough to the goddess of dreams. She wanted to go beyond, to humiliate her brother. And so she made him pull her pleasure barge, the Hypnos, for the rest of eternity. It appears, Darian, that this was not just a children's tale, but the quite literal existence of this titan.
Guys?
Yeah, I'll climb out. I'll climb out.
I just point to the giant. I know that guy. Well, like, not personally, but
Jeez, Darian, okay.
yeah, that's Thylea, like Lutheria and Sidon's brother.
And David, we're just mentally image clarification. The cubes are not connected to the barge, right?
Nope.
We're just hanging.
You're
in
hanging
space.
from this, from the ceiling of the Nether Sea.
And we know about the cubes, right? Because there was the whole people's souls got stolen, and eventually we were going to come here to try and get them back. How much do we know about the cubes? Because isn't that what the Furies did?
Go ahead and roll me a history check. This is going to be Lyra.
We've gone through so much. Okay, better this time.
With a 22, you
Because
don't
we knew
know,
there were prisons, but I just don't know how much we actually
you
knew.
don't know what these cubes were, but you are certainly able to piece things together now, that they likely all contain massive creatures inside of them, for one reason or another. You do not know the reason,
Oh,
but
that's not
you know
what I
that there was a separate
expecting.
prisoned island, the one
Oh,
upon which Vulcan and, for a while, Lutheria resided, and that Lutheria then busted out with the help of Glacius. So,
so these are not the same. No idea what these are.
no idea what these are.
You had said last session that there was like maybe I'm misremembering, like a portal around where the Tarask was? Like, wasn't there like a dark portal that we could
Well,
see?
that was what let us see him in the orb. It was basically
Okay.
But as far as we know, there isn't another actual portal other than the one we went through that doesn't exist anymore.
As you guys ponder that, we're switching over to Themis. Brissa, your spell takes a while. I believe it was an hour, if I'm not mistaken.
That it does, yes.
Slowly, the energy seems to be kind of glowing. Your own skin becomes incredibly hot as the golden elixir that Helios had given you seems to work its magic and amplify the effect as you put your hands upon Silas' draconic skin, and slowly the magic, almost like a lay on hands, but doing its work very slowly, stitching together the flesh and the scales of your daughter. As Brissa is engaged in this ritual, Yanni, you do notice that the fighting in the streets continue. Shouts arise from the Amazons trying to fight off the undead hordes currently thrashing the place. Again, it seems that your mother, Queen Helen, was able to gain control of them and undermine the original effort to simply draw the attention of the Amazons. And as the screams, as they vehemently punctuate the air, are dying. After Daphne told you all of this, altered, of course, after her encounter with Desdemona, what is going through Yanni's head as he realizes that his mother betrayed the group? Maybe not shock, but how does he feel about this?
I mean, his thought process is, well, Grandpa was gonna kill her anyway, so what did she have to lose? How is this in any way, shape, or form surprising? Part of him agrees with Damon's approach to post-apocalyptic life, which is leave no one alive behind you who might stab you in the back, so he's wondering why she wasn't just put down immediately. But more than anything, he's wondering why he spent so much spell energy in the Nexus Point to bring back that fucking traitor dragon and doesn't have any spell energy left to go deal with Mommy. So, that's kind of where he's at right now. But he realizes that depleted as he is, the only thing he can really do is just guard Brissa's back while she's trying to knit Scylla back together.
Upon
a little part of him is wondering if he could help with a mending spell, but he doesn't want to seem
fucked up. I will say what
he doesn't want to seem insensitive and ask.
and would certainly think of. Upon one of the massive draconic fingers of Glacius, you see one of the rings of the Dragonlords. One of the pieces of the soul of Mitros.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
I know, yeah.
How far away from, like, is it a hike to get to Glacius's corpse at this point, or I don't want to leave Brista.
No. That's like in a room with you all.
Is Glacius here with us?
How did you die? How did you die?
I'll go pull the ring off, and I think I'll
As you pull the ring off, it is almost like it resists for a second, and you see that there are these bands of shadowy color kind of holding it back for a second. Again, as before with the multitude of dragon heads that kind of shadow-like hung on his sides, you see that there's a band of red, green, blue, white, and black, but they're all kind of like, it's like somebody took the saturation and the opacity and turned it all the way to the dark side of the slider. And as you kind of like pull it up, you hear almost like this weird popping sound, this hiss, and then almost like the faint, miles away echo of a roar.
I'm also gonna take a quick look and like, does that bastard still have my sword?
Indeed he does.
Snatch that back while we're at it.
Sure. Anything else before we have another impactful moment, or if you want to keep doing inventory stuff, I'll give you control over his.
No. That was just like Yanni is still pissed that Casaria ran off with the dagger he gave her, so he's like, I'm not losing another fucking weapon to somebody. But
holding a grudge for that long.
Oh, Yanni's a little bit of a shit. but so what he'll do is take the ring, and assuming that one of Sila's talons is back together at this point, put it on Sila's finger.
As you have this ring, you feel Mitros's presence brush against your mind, asking for permission. And you can feel that the brush, where before it felt like a strong, cool presence, now it is weak. It is almost like a barely perceptible breeze on an extremely hot summer's day.
Yeah, no, I'll let her in. Hello, Belmitria.
Immediately, it is almost like she's exasperated. Like the dragon just ran 100 miles of a marathon and it's just collapsed. Thank you. She almost had me.
What was the name? Takesis? Is that who we're talking about?
Yes.
Oof. I hadn't even thought about that. Oof.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If I'd have thought about it, I'd have done something sooner.
You interfered at the right time. I'm sorry.
So, no, you're fine. Do you need anything?
No, I was trying to shield his mind. But it was like there was a thorn in it. A sickness that spread slowly through every crook of his mind.
I think he was probably in Lutheria's thrall for too long, and her madness probably had some effect on him, is my best guess. That's what I hope it was, and not just that he was just that, for lack of a better word, awful. But I'm glad you're okay. You're, I guess, daughter of sort. I still don't know how that works, but Sila's kind of still dead. Brissa's working on bringing her back. Shouldn't be a problem, but I want to put this ring on her finger so you can talk to her, if that's okay with you.
That is fine. You need to know. He killed his husband. If you can, try to bring him back.
Snitch.
We're talking about Argenti? Or Glacius, or whatever the hell name he's going by, or was going by? Glacius. He killed Mateo, huh?
Buried him on the Isle of Yonder. If you can bring him back. Not
okay.
You, but
yeah.
People that you know.
Well, yeah.
Don't over, look into the specific words that they say, but more the intent that they're trying to convey.
I took it as a plural you. We're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll if Estrella's still okay after all this, I'll head out there with her as soon as we can and see what we can do. God. So he went that far crazy, huh?
I tried. Yanni. I tried to protect him, but
I want to say don't blame yourself, because he made a lot of just from what he did tell us, he made a lot of bad decisions all by himself in the past. I think between Lutheria's influence and his own just brokenness at this point, I think he was probably beyond help. That's my guess.
as you say that, you suddenly hear a hissing noise. What sounds like snakes.
Shit.
You go quiet and kind of go down a little bit as you hear two female voices speaking with one another. I saw him come down here. All right, let's kill him and bring him to the queen, and we shall... You suddenly hear a cry of pain. A hiss. This one from a human mouth. What are you doing? You traitor! You're going to... Metal sailing through the air, outside of the vision. Another female voice says, I'm not the traitor. You are.
Do I recognize that second voice?
Make me a perception check.
Can I have Darian pinch hit for me on the perception check?
In spirit.
That's a 22.
Spirit.
I'm good with a 22.
You do not, interestingly, but you can tell that the woman is stern. And with a 22, you can tell that the hissing hasn't stopped. Snakes still seem to be in the area. You hear the sound of boots stepping around. You hear what sounds like the insertion of a spear into a skull twice over. And then the boots are starting to approach where you all are.
Wait, does Brissa hear this too? Like, is this? I mean, this sounds like it's a ritual that I can pause and then come back if they'd like continue. It's not like a continuous.
Well, I don't know if Yanni would know that, so Yanni, like, I would scamper over to Brissa and be like, it's gonna go dark, just keep chanting. Keep doing your thing, and I pop the helmet on.
The darkness expands. Around the corner, you see a tall, beautiful woman approach. She's clad in a breastplate of archaic Amazonian design. As you see her there, and just for the folks at home, there might be someone who might be interested in this. You see a Medusa. Archaic Amazonian breastplate, hearkening back to the days of Darian's mother's age. You see hair that has a bunch of red snakes cascading outward. Scales that have kind of extended down upon her forehead, temples, and towards her cheekbones. Intense red eyes looking into the darkness. She has a spear at her side, a glaive, really. The tip is adamantine and sharpened to a gleam. She looks into the darkness. My name is Faith, and I'm not your enemy.
I really want to kill her.
You'll forgive me if I don't drop the darkness right away.
It is just me.
You're... Pardon the blatant assumptions, but you look like you should be siding with our enemy. From what I just overheard, I believe you when you say you don't. You aren't on their side. You're not our enemy. Would you please explain who you are?
Yes. I am Faith. I was cursed.
Okay.
I was raised by Thylea for a time. I made a promise to the fates to come aid you this day. I was turned into this, which made it easier for me to infiltrate Moxena's ranks and work with a group of resistance fighters that serve the true queen, Thylea. I might be cursed, but I'll make my own fate.
I appreciate if you are on our side. I would rather you not be here because we can't validate that. I don't necessarily trust Medusa's at this time.
Yeah,
Brisa, is that you,
you,
Queen of Mitros?
Yes.
She goes to a knee, bows, gets back up.
She's kneeling. I know you can't see her. I guess...
I know you cannot verify it, but if you have the ability to cast a Zone of Truth, I will submit myself to whatever magic or other confirmations you can put upon me. I'm not your enemy.
What's my read on her at this point?
Make me an insight check.
That's an 11, so I'm probably not sure.
You do have a D of Inspiration if you want to use it.
No, I'm good. I feel like I'm going to need that for a saving throw before the night is out.
You get the sense that she's very stern, very to the point. She actually answered your question very directly, very to the point. A lot of people, for weird reasons, are always very coy about telling you who they are and what they're doing in a context, and she just up and said it. It seems to check out, but it doesn't... It's weird. She was sent here. She promised the fates. Hold up, you know the fates.
Yeah. The question is, does she know the current fates? Brissa, I can't explain it, but I kind of trust her enough that I'm gonna take the helmet off. Okay?
I do not trust her.
You're good. I will take off the helmet. I will intentionally not meet her gaze, and I'll say, "You'll excuse me if I don't look you in the eye right now." Just yet.
She glares at one of the snakes that is like intently looking at you, and all the snakes immediately coil themselves into a long braid down her back. All of them hidden by her entire frame. That is under. Her eyes go wide. Her lower jaw goes slack, almost dropping to the floor.
She's part snake, so are you being serious about that?
And nope. She's looking first at the corpse of Glacius. And then she looks over to Brissa and Scylla there. She goes, no. She kind of runs over and runs her hand across Glacius' side and then over towards you, Brissa. She left her glaive
Brissa will strike her, but Brissa will strike her if she like reaches.
As you kind of like step towards you and you like make the motion to like, she puts up her hands, but she doesn't look at you. She just looks at Scylla.
As futile as the effort might be, Yanni like grabs onto Brissa's arm and probably is off the ground at this point.
I mean, this snake lady that we just tried, killed a bunch of is reaching towards my daughter. No, like she is going to.
She didn't reach towards the corpse. She like ran towards you, yes, but she didn't reach. You put up your weapon. She kind of like stays out of range, but you see as she begins to sob. Tears begin flowing down her cheek as she drops to her knees. Her palms kind of up towards the sky, the backs of her hands like landing upon her quads, and she just sobs. She looks at your dead dragon, and she just goes, Malgrim. No, not again. You can bring him back, right? You can bring her back, right?
She's working on it right now.
That is what you are interrupting. I will not do it with you in the room, though.
Okay. I understand.
You have to understand.
I do. It's okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I will get over it myself. I just needed a minute. Queen Brissa, you have nothing to fear of me. I will lead some of the resistance forces to protect this quadrant, to make sure that you will not be interrupted. How long will you need?
Brissa would just like look at Yadi and be like, she'll send him a, I don't trust her, but this is how like that people get into people's ranks and everything. She could be a spy. I'm not going to give her any information.
I'll reply through the ring. I don't blame you. I fully understand. If I were in your shoes, I would not trust anything that resembled a Medusa either. But I'm telling you, there's something different about this one. So I will take her out of your sight and see what I can learn, okay?
Brissa does nod.
She gives you a bow, Brissa. Gets back up, and you can see that her eyes are still trained on Thylea's corpse. Go to make me an insight check.
Do better than I did. Do better than I did.
Brissa vehemently hates all Medusas now, by the way. I don't know if you guys have caught that. I mean, they murdered her. They murdered her daughter, both of her daughters, technically. Like, she would be okay with, like, a, mass genocide of Medusas.
Okay, so we just got rid of Glacius, and now we can worry about Brissa.
Can't kill all our players one by one.
Okay.
It's just Darren going, "Oh, Pyrrha, go kill it again."
It's another person I gotta kill.
She just hates Medusas.
Another tear escapes her eye as it runs down her cheek, and she angrily wipes it away, looking at Thylea, and then she walks out of the room. She's about to grab the glaive, but looks back at you, Yanni, as you follow, and says, "May
I?" Yeah.
Grabs it.
Yeah, I can't explain it, but I trust you. And to drive the point home, I look up and look her in the eye.
Snake still tangled back. "I do not fault you, Yanni, for not trusting me. If the roles were reversed, I wouldn't do it either. People are a funny thing. Individually, they can be smart, but as groups, they are sheep creatures. It takes a long time to truly study the mind. And Yanni, I have done a lot of this. You are smart. You are weary. And that is why you're alive."
That, nah. Just an absolute boatload of luck. Yeah.
I think luck is created. It is where preparation meets opportunity. But we need to leave the Queen alone.
For sure. For sure.
Queen. She walks out of the room. As you both go back into the area that it kind of, there's like a 50-foot gap between the outside of the monument that is the hand that was built here and the workshops and other storage places that are kind of ringed around the monument. As she walks out with you, you can see that indeed her glaive pierced through two Medusas, their blood still starting to pool around them into the flagstones. She doesn't even give them a second look. She looks around. We're safe here for now. My women have killed two of the squats that came to help the Queen. She was working on something. Some of those druidic messengers, worshippers of Kintimani, set something up upon the top of the hand. We saw fighting. Is she dead?
That was us. Yes. Yeah, Darian saw to that herself.
Good. Well done. You should be proud of yourself, Yanni. You did well.
I don't know how much I had to do with it, to be honest, but yeah. Yeah, we pulled it off, but there were casualties.
She kind of looks over her shoulder
Important
again.
casualties.
What happened? Can you return Glacius as well?
Could we? Probably. Should we? I don't think so.
She narrows her eyes at that, and you can see that there is... It's not anger, but it is... It stings her. For some reason, you saying that seems to hit a nerve with her. What do you mean?
Okay. Not to delay explaining this, but I need to know how much to explain. What do you know about the history of the dragons and their homeworld? Do you know who Takesis is?
Who?
Okay. So, the dragons came from another world.
Yes.
Centuries ago. This world was a place of war. Basically, the two sides of the war were more or less spearheaded by two different draconic gods. Takesis was the bad god. Apparently, when we killed Sidon and destroyed the lock that kept Thylea separate from the rest of the planes and multiverse and everything that exists outside of Thylea, basically. Big concept. We can go into more detail later.
No, I know what you're speaking of, Yanni, and that is a power that is Kintimani's, not Sidon's. The priestesses of Kintimani have preached on this. It is one of the things that Muxena was trying so desperately to try to break through.
So I don't know enough details to know who was lying to who about what, but I do know that we destroyed something that opened at least some aspects of the outside to Thylea, and I think that allowed Takesis in.
Interesting.
And she corrupted Glacius somehow, and I think he was susceptible to it because of the years he spent in, I guess for lack of a better word, slavery to Lutheria. He killed his husband. We didn't even know about that at the time. But he basically just lost it right after the fight, and we had to. We were the ones that put him down. Darian specifically. She had a busy, 10 minutes there. But it almost feels like she's trying to say something through the ring, but I think we're too far away. Anyway, but yeah, I think he just went completely stark raving mad, and I don't know if we can fix that if we bring him back. Give me 1 second. I like mentally go into the ring. Babitria, can you hear me?
Yes.
If I give her the ring, will you explain to her the what you can about Glacius so that she understands?
Sure. If you think it wise.
I wisdom's not my strong point. But I think it's necessary. I feel like we all need to be on the same page here. And mostly I like the fact that Alex's face is turning 7 shades of red right now.
Brissa would have already murdered bitch if she was in this room.
Why do you think I left? Why do you think I took her away? If I just take her hand, can you talk to her just through contact, or does she need to be wearing the ring?
Contact.
Okay, let's do it that way.
Her hand touches.
I assume.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to tell her what's going to happen. I assume you're familiar with the goddess Mitros.
I am.
You're about to have a conversation with her, and I just take her hand.
Her eyes goes wide as you kind of touch it, and you can see
Or
her
where-
eyes goes completely wide as she just, like, the consternation begins to grow and grow. She just clearly listens and goes wide in places, slack-jawed again, and she seems to nod. And then kind of like the soldiery face, the visage once again returns as she nods. Her eyes kind of scanning across the ground, and then your face up towards the hand. Thank you, Mitros. Thank you, Yanni.
You're welcome. Who cursed you, if I may ask?
She tenses up. That is a complicated story that I don't know if we have time to share at this point.
Fair.
Call it a
Fair.
family curse.
If we survive long enough and you're comfortable, I would love to hear the story and see if there's anything I can do to help. But anyway, I don't know why, but I like you. You're like
Thanks,
the
Yanni.
first person I've run into in a while who is just a straight shooter, and I respect that.
Thanks. I like you too, for what it's worth, perhaps. I think your queen might try and kill me.
Yeah, I mean, do you know that Moxena killed her daughter? She's just kind of anti all things Medusa at this point.
And we're in the middle of a war with the Medusas, you know, it just makes logical sense.
I am too, Yanni. Medusas destroyed my lineage, my heritage, my legacy. They took my dragon from me.
Your
And
drag-
what Moxena did to Brissa's daughter, she did to my wife. So when you say that she wants all Medusas dead, Yanni, trust me when I say, I do too. And no, that does not exclude myself. I want to see Themis to be returned to the state that it should have been. And when that mission is over, Yanni, I don't want to live anymore. Not with
Okay,
these
that's-
memories.
That's pretty heavy to lay on a guy you just met.
Oh, so we're not doing the straight shooting anymore?
It's just a little heavy is all. Anyway,
Life is
I'm
not that
sorry?
heavy right now. She kind of looks
Thylea?
around where it's like the screams and magic going off and middle of a city. And
that I guess maybe a little heavy on a personal level. But I asked a question, so you know.
I'm sorry for
I'm-
making you feel uncomfortable, Yanni.
No. I'm just. It's been a day, and that's just one more thing. I feel bad. I'm sorry.
Don't feel
Nobody
bad.
deserves that.
The past is in the past. Moxena is dead. Now we need
Yes.
to rid the city of the rest of them. As I promised to the Queen and you, I'm going to make sure that me and my women will make sure that you are safe. We will keep them back as long as you need. Finish your ritual.
Are your women other Medusas? Or...
No.
Okay, just checking. I need to know how much I'm going to have to...
My curse was... It laid in my veins for a long time before Moxena took power. I am not as adult as they were, but it is my curse nonetheless, and I do not want to turn into a monster like she had. Not anymore of a monster.
Have you, speaking of somewhat monstrous Medusas, have you had any contact with Caesarea?
Yes. The High Priestess of Kentamani.
Yeah, she used to travel with us way back.
We know this.
She still carry around a nice... Yeah, never mind.
Oh, the ceremonial
Do you know-
dagger. Yeah, she killed a lot of women with this.
That's great. Yeah, yep. Regrets.
But she killed more men, if that makes you feel better. Probably
It's not. It's more just the killing.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'm kind of, not too particular about whether it's men or women. Nobody should be getting stabbed that doesn't deserve it. But anyway,
I mean, but statistically speaking, our society.
I mean, the irony is, statistically speaking, women prefer to kill with poison, but she's a freaking Medusa.
That is just in Mitros and Eresia, where men dominate the households. We've done statistics on this.
Oh. I'd like to review that.
Surprisingly stable. Maybe not surprisingly, but incredibly stable without the constant aggression of outside forces, particularly men. Moxena, of course, was the outlier. I suppose the outlier always is going to prove the study. But, Yanni, we're not going to talk about statistics.
Okay. I got to think on what you just said, because I don't think that makes sense. But anyway. I'm
pretty sure it does, Yanni.
All right, hold on. I got to turn off that part of my brain. Okay. Do you know where Caesarea is and or what she's up to?
She disappeared
we're gonna have to deal with her too.
Right before the battle. She teleported herself through a tree and disappeared. She did give her priestesses commands to construct a portal upon the hand. But that's the last that I knew.
There's a portal up there. So some of the rest of my friends went through it. And I hope they're okay.
I hope so too.
All right,
Yanni. Well, I better start setting up a perimeter. Please tell Queen
thanks.
Bressa that if we need to, we will ferry all three of you out of the city so that you will not come to harm. I mean no offense, but you look extremely shitty and tired right now.
Oh, I'm beat. I'm tapped. I got nothing left.
Yeah, you look it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I hope I get a chance to talk more with you later. I will do everything I can to keep Brissa from stabbing you in the back.
Of course, Yanni.
Or the front.
Do the
or anywhere
research.
else.
Women-led societies, much more stable. Just starts walking off. We go back over to the people.
My mom was leading Eresia for a while, and it seemed pretty stable. So yeah, maybe.
As we're back in the upon the prison cube, you see that it's actually kind of interesting. If anything, there is a translucent bluish glow, almost like there are so many different bioluminescent algae that are kind of swarming to the edges of this wide pleasure barge down below. And as you look closer, Darian, you notice that this is not algae. This is not anything living. It seems like hundreds of souls have just kind of gathered at the bow of the ship. Really, the entire hull.
Well,
No.
I feel like that's
Our
you go,
options
Lyra.
are stay in the cube or maybe exit the cube.
Maybe exiting the cube at this point, unless you guys think there's a portal here.
But what if Britta and Yanni follow us?
We'll leave a note.
Yanni's
Okay.
smarter than all of us, so hopefully he'll get out.
As you say that, you hear a bone resonating crack. The crack itself sounds metallic. And another one.
Okay, off the cube. We should get off the cube.
Yeah, we just start flying off the cube.
This is not upon your cube. But as you
Oh, it's
hear
on
that,
another cube?
you hear over to your right a massive crack and what sounds like a release of a latch of humongous proportions. As the bottom of the cube immediately to your right splits and opens like a trapdoor.
Oh no.
You see as dozens of building-sized tentacles reach out from the bottom of the cube, and a massive body pushes itself through. But as you look at that, the thing that you see, the head that you see, that you expect to be maybe, how best to put it, more fish-like. It certainly seems to have an array of 4 eyes and then a massive one in the middle there. You can see vaguely humanoid hands pushing itself out. Another hand kind of reaching back and pulled something out. It is like a Cthulhu horror that suddenly escapes that cube as it falls downward. You see its eye kind of look towards you, Darian, and as you do, there's just a terror that immediately overcomes you. But before this humongous, this titanic, kaiju-sized monster can drop into the nether sea below, a truly awe-inspiringly large portal opens up as the creature falls through. You see a massive splash of water escape upward out of thin air, it seems, from the portal's perspective. The portal, after the last tentacle escapes down into the portal itself, is extinguished as the water still goes up and just hangs there in a impossible to wrap your mind around fashion, and then falls into the rest of the nether sea. And that is where we're going to take a quick break. See you guys here shortly.
Does the tentacle monster have a name or a girlfriend?
Is he single and ready to mingle?
Jesus Christ. Horny fucking bastards. Alrighty.
Did you see how big his trident was? Anyways, continue.
Brissa, the golden magic suffuses all of Sila's wounds, mending sinew, bone, flesh, and scale, and then dies down. A little bit of an afterglow shines off of her scales as your hands are still upon her body, and suddenly her ribcage rises. She hawks up some of the blood. Mama. She kind of just gets up and like pummels you over with a big hug.
You muted.
Muted on Discord.
Brissa will just enjoy the few seconds of peace that she has with her when no one else is in the room.
What happened, Mama? I remember falling and it was weird. It was like I was flying, but I couldn't. And then they came. They hurt me. I told you, Mama, I'm not strong enough. You should have made me big, Mama.
You did plenty today already. You were strong enough, and you're all better now, so it's okay.
I didn't do enough, Mama. I was a distraction. What if you had tried to come after me, and then is Moxena dead?
She is, and your sister is avenged.
Suddenly she goes very still. You can feel all of her muscles tense up. Mama? What did you do to Uncle Glacius?
Well, I technically didn't do that. That wasn't me, right? You know, so it's
Did Moxena do this?
you know,
We need to bring him back, Papa. Oh no.
it's you know, he is. You know how, you know, like we talked about how some of the dragons went crazy and everything like that, and they got all corrupted and mean. We talked about this and we explained it. He did the same thing. So.
Oh. He took the potion?
Something similar, yes. Something similar.
But he was... He was Uncle Glacius. He's going to teach me how to be a good dragon, to do good in the world.
Oh, you will learn to be a much better dragon from other dragons. He was not a great dragon. He was. There are much better role models out there, right? You know, we will find you much better role models like Valis and Petor. Like you know, they can be your role models.
But he had been teaching me so much about the power of us dragons.
But he wasn't teaching you about compassion. I guess I was teaching you about that, and so, again, right? You know,
Yeah.
I would ignore some of his lessons there. You know, they are good, but take them with a grain of salt.
So we're not bringing him back because he was not good, because he was a bad dragon.
Yes.
Yanni walks over to Brissa at this point and is like, I don't want to interrupt, but this was Argenti's ring. I think Silas should have it. And maybe Mitros can help calm her down a little bit. I just hand it to Brissa and walk away.
Where are you, Yanni? Uncle Yanni, where are you going? What is everyone
I'm just
else?
I'm giving you and your mommy space. That's all.
Yanni,
You're working through some
Mama?
stuff.
are you gonna put me down if I'm a bad dragon too?
No, it's. You know that I would do anything for you, and I would.
But what
You
if
know
I
I'm
go
always
bad
going to be
too?
on you. Then I will go bad with you, and we will be bad together.
Like Estor?
No, but we're not going to do that because we will keep each other good, okay?
Okay.
But so
I can
you don't
be a
have to
good
worry
dragon,
about that.
right, Mama?
You-
I don't want to
you
die
can be-
again, Mama. And she just like starts sobbing, like her serpentine neck and just curls around you.
She will just continue to hug Sila.
Yanni, you step back out of the workshop. The sound of the battle continues, but certainly seems to have died down a little bit and seems to be more localized. It's like small combats are now happening all throughout the city, but it's not as all-encompassing as it was before. Whichever side is currently winning, you're not sure. But it seems that this is now a matter of who's winning. Cleaning up the opposing force. What do you do, Yanni?
I kind of take stock. I'm like, man, this is like the most tapped out I've been in a long time. I fall back into my old roguish ways a little bit and try to stick to corners and crevices and whatnot, and just kind of get myself to a vantage point where I can see if there's anybody on. When I say our side, that includes Amazons that might yet be saved. So anybody on our side that I might be able to do anything to help, whether it's provide some basic first aid or get them to a safe place or pop a firebolt into the side of the head of the Medusa that's attacking them, or whatever the case may be.
Totally.
But just try and make myself useful without putting myself in too much direct danger, because I am spent.
Gotta make me just a general stealth check. We'll roll all of that into that roll.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You sneak through the alleyways, and the kid inside of you, the urchin that had survived on the streets of Eurasia, comes back to life. It is almost like an old familiar skill or hobby. It almost brings you joy as you creep through the destroyed pathways, climb over massive rib cages of minotaurs or the dead bodies of dozens and dozens of Amazons. You sneak through and indeed every once in a while pop off a firebolt at the very least to distract Amazon, specifically Medusas, to be distracted so that the skeletons can finish the job. And ultimately you make your way back to where the palace was. You climb up that plateau and you look out over the city. And there is a lot of destruction. It seems that some of the skeletons you observe have the ability to self-annihilate, running forward and then turning into a combustion, much like a fireball. Red and green runes flashing across their body before they blow up entire contingents of the Amazon warriors. Go to make me an investigation or perception check. Your choice.
Wow, I'm actually 1 point better at perception, but that's because I have expertise in it. Oh, natty 1 for 13.
There's so much smoke, so much pain, that's just overwhelming. Your body shuts down a little bit. The stress, the anxiety. You don't want it to happen, but it's not quite a panic attack, but it's just too much. You were in a ley line minutes ago. It feels like an hour, maybe 2. You don't even know. 3 hours. Yes, that's math. It's happening. You feel your heartbeat is just like beating so rapidly, so intensely inside of your eardrums. The dying, the blood in the air, the smoke, the fire. Yanni, you find yourself just climbing upon a ledge, pulling in your knees, wrapping your arms around your legs, and just watching the burning city, the capital of Thermus.
Yeah, that feels about right.
Daphne, as you and your fellow fates are just
Is that part of it freaking out?
hanging onto the edge of the cube in stunned silence, the echoes of the massive latch and the creaking of the huge bottom gates kind of moving back and forth. What's going through your head?
Panic. That did not look good. None of this looks great. How many of these cubes can we see?
From where you're at, about 3 more.
Okay. I look to the girls. Should we try
barge? No, sorry.
Why are we still here? There's a boat waiting for us.
Do we want to take care of the others just to make sure that there's no other cubes, and then we take care of each other? I mean,
yeah, right. I guess save the world first, then each other.
We could just live here now forever.
I have a boyfriend and my mom.
Do you?
I actually stay
Too
attached to
soon.
people, unlike you.
Me and all my people are still attached.
How
Yours
close is the
one
first
that was
cube
on a
that doesn't have an
suicide
open
mission,
bottom?
Like 30 minutes ago.
How close is the first cube that doesn't have an open bottom?
A long ways away. You can certainly fly.
Yeah, if I look at the hourglass of the one that just dropped, I'm assuming it's full.
It is full.
Okay. And then
No.
the one
It's not full on the bottom. That
It's full on
change
top.
at all. It is still full on top.
Okay. When I look at the next cube that's further away, does it look close to being full at the top?
No. Oh, well, full? No. Maybe about 75% of the Myrmikis seem to be in the upper portion, and that last 25% are in the lower portion on that one.
Okay. I'll look at Lyra and Daphne, and I'll just say, I can't imagine fighting more than one of these.
As you say that,
Another one open. Fuck.
you hear a second latch. A massive reverberating sound once again carrying through the air, shaking your bones. The latch on the second, or technically third cube, unleashes. And this time, when there is a forest fire, you see the massive plumes of smoke rise up out of the fire. Here, it is almost as if it is inverted. You see black shadow shooting out the bottom of the cube as it just coalesces downward and then back up, but it then turns into tendrils trying to reach around. And as you see that, you see again a vaguely humanoid clawed hand kind of reach out. To Lyra's delight, you see a bestial head that is absolutely enormous in size, adorned with a pair of black horns. You see upon its back a ridge of bone like spikes pushing out, but you can see that in many places it seems corporeal, but not. You can see these spikes are covering every piece of it. You see as its mouth opens and the eyes kind of look around, it's just pure fire. And you recognize a same resonance between yourself and this creature. A massive, fiendish entity. It looks about as it pulls itself out of the cube. It looks towards the pleasure barge.
Not the pleasure
It
barge.
opens its hand as a fireball the size of the academy starts to build in its hand. It reels back as it suddenly seems to be pulled. As it's pulled downward towards the nether sea, another portal opens up. This giant tries to claw itself on the inside of the cube but cannot hold on as it is pushed through. And you see rock, like an avalanche that goes upwards, and what looks like hundreds of trees fly up into the air. The portal once again closing away as the rock and the trees land in the nether sea.
Well, maybe the portals are going to places that aren't even in Thylea. Maybe it's going to all those other worlds that Pascal told me about sometimes. Maybe it's not even Thylea and we don't even have to worry about it. We could just stay here forever.
Lyra, are you delusional now?
I'm not going wherever those things went.
How so? Darian, was that one? Was it like, were we kind of in a cube that was like in the middle of the sequence?
Mm-mm.
No.
At the end.
I don't know if we can get to the other cubes in time.
Can I hold that thought? I want to go back in the cube that we're in and go to the portal, the orb that looked like it had Myrmiki's images. It wasn't like showing us Myrmiki's, but it was like the images.
That might take you some time. Do you wanna rush him back down to do that?
I want to know if it's showing us the other cubes, since there's Myrmiki's on top of all of them.
Lyra's doing that. What are the rest of you two doing?
I mean, do we want to try to at least get to one cube and...
Yeah, I would say as soon as that other one dropped, Darian is trying to get to that next cube as fast as she can. And she's hoping that there's nothing in that cube outside of just those buttons. So that's where she's going. She figures if Lyra finds anything, she'll catch up.
You begin flying. Daphne, do you go with Darian?
Should we try to split up and see if, like try to get to one at least?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming since they're in a row, we would hit one first anyway, right? Sure. So I would probably say if we get to one and it hasn't opened yet, I would keep going if you wanted to stay or vice versa. I don't care.
Sounds good.
All right. You two begin to fly, which will take you a little bit longer than Lyra getting down the stairs. Lyra, you go down the stairs, rush back into the room. You see the 4 red spheres. What do you try?
I want to go to the one that looked like it had the silhouettes. The Myrmiki silhouettes.
You see the red Myrmiki silhouettes. And as you mess around with it, go ahead and make me either investigation or arcana check, your choice.
Okay. Why did that not roll anything? Okay, I got it at 20.
Nice. You quickly realize that it is seemingly zoomed in as you kind of do like a pinching motion upon the...
Enhanced, but unenhanced.
Exactly. Upon the crystalline... And you suddenly zoom out and you can see that it is a depiction of the hourglass and you can see now that indeed all of the Myrmikis, which there must be thousands of silhouettes that filled what looks like an approximation of the hourglass, are dead.
Okay, so do I get the sense that this is probably the hourglass that was on top of our cube?
Correct. But then, with your natural 20 for a total of 27, you notice something else. You see that there seems to be almost like a line that is underneath. It's like a flat disc, but it is so flat that to your eye it looked like a line, but as you kind of zoom around, like move the viewpoint with the crystal itself, you realize that it is a huge round plane that is under the hourglass, but it seems to kind of flicker. You realize that this plane is depicting the teleportation portal that opens underneath the cube. It is usually tied with the hourglass, but as you keep fucking with the crystal, you realize that you could probably engage it from here without the hourglass engaging it first.
Oh, like the portal?
Underneath the cube that you're currently in. Daphne, Darian, you guys are just flying. The air is wishing past you, and you fly towards the other cubes. You now see that there are two more past the three that you're sailing past. The one that Lyra's in that held the unnamed massive Terry creature. The one with the Kraken boyfriend. And the one with the shadow horns. That's the ones behind you now as you're sailing towards two more. Your heart sinks, but perhaps also catches itself. Because the last cube in that row, out of the 5, the doors are already open. You didn't hear them open on the way.
Maybe that's where Crabinos came from.
The crab!
Beanos!
You fly towards the 4th cube. Landing upon it, and in the exact same position, you once again see the door. You see the same symbol upon this round metal door with a wheel upon it. None of you, neither of you two, have a light.
Darian will grit her teeth and look at Daphne.
Why is it
and say, make sure I don't fly off this fucking cube. And she's gonna grab for the door to try to open it.
Okay.
You grab for the door, and the thing definitely flashes as you try your best. You move, you hack at it with the chakram. Try as hard as you might, leaving things behind. Nothing seems to budge.
Neither me.
Daphne, your eyes meet Darian's as she desperately but determinedly tries to open this thing. Your eyes meet for a split second as Darian takes a breath. The entire cube rocks. You look up, and by the way, you flew past multiple of these hourglasses. You now look up, and you see this massive hourglass. This is the size of the Colossus in the port of Mitros, easily 100 feet tall itself, with the thousands of Myrmikis, kind of like small-sized, insectoid, vaguely humanoid creatures kind of scampering, trying desperately not to touch the bottom. And then the entire cube just moves. You hear what sound like 1,000 roaring groans. They shake the entire cube. Lyra, after your realization about being able to do, open the portal, what did you do next?
I think I would leave and head towards Darian and Daphne, because I would think that I've hopefully found a way for us to get out. So now I'm going to help them with whatever they were going to do.
You make it out of the cube. You start flying. And from a distance, you suddenly see as the gates swing open. You hear the roars. And then by the dozens, you see massive draconic heads come out of the cube. Two city-sized wings, one the size of Mitros, the other one the size of Astoria, kind of push out as all the heads spew ash and fire around. Maybe 20 of the heads turn towards you, realizing that you're coming at the cube as you just like stop there in the air, kind of flapping, almost instinctually moving away as the creature propels itself out of the cube. Suddenly, the portal once again opens as the creature, the heads roaring upward, spewing flame into the air, is yanked downward.
Right. Can Darian run to look over the edge to see if she can look into the portal to see where it leads?
Sure thing. First, make me a dex check that you'd add all of your normal initiative modifiers to. The DC for this one is going to
check.
Yes, it's going to be relatively low. It's going to be a DC 20. So imagine if you had to do an initiative roll. All the modifiers that usually apply to it will apply to this.
Okay, so...
You want us to beat a 20 on initiative? I don't think we ever roll above a 20 on initiative.
There you go.
Well, except Darian.
Okay.
You immediately, as you hear that, like shit, you fly. As you kind of catch yourself onto the edge, you look down, and you see as the massive body sails down, and it's a cluster. It's like a weird mindfuck because you see something that you have seen so many different times, but from such a weird angle. You see a mountain range, but you see it from a perfectly top-down viewpoint. As this draconic creature with its 1,000 heads cascades down, lands upon the mountainside, causing an avalanche as it goes. Make me a perception check, and please roll low.
Well, because you asked.
Low.
It's 27. It is low.
Lyra doesn't necessarily keep a lot of emotional effects about her. There's not a lot of decoration to her room, per se. She likes to spend her time other places. She always said it has something to do with staying detached. But in her endeavors to unite the sirens across Thylea, she collected many maps, paintings, and other such pieces of art that showed where sirens live. Darian, you're quite familiar with some of the paintings in Lyra's rooms within the palace that depict this particular mountain range. A little ways to the west of Mitros. A smattering of different siren communities and communes in general live. Amongst them, Lyra's family. The portal closes in the blink of an eye. Lyra, the thing is gone. Do you resume your way towards the others?
Yeah, I gotta get to them. I don't even know if they were there or not.
You fly, and quickly you see Daphne and Darian just standing upon the cube, having discussed what just happened. As you land, Darian, you look at your fellow fate. What do you say?
I think I look at Lyra and I just say, we have to go back. That one's at your home.
Cool.
Lyra, as you kind of just say cool to yourself, suddenly the sigil upon the door flashes with a green light and seems to kind of just wink out as the wheel undoes the lock.
Fucking great.
What do you three do in preparation as you start to see the door open?
I get my chakram at the ready.
Yeah, I immediately hold an Eldritch Blast.
Get ready to swing.
I will say that if I'm seeing it open, I'm darting forward with the expectation to meet them if they're coming out. I'm not waiting for them to pop out. I'm going to be there when they're there.
You are there to meet them as the door swings open and air shoots outward, flinging you back there. Your Eldritch Blast goes forwards, trying to grasp at the different things. You hear the adamantine itself bend a little bit. Daphne, you might be swinging your hammer as you're all pushed back about 30 feet. And then rising upon the air itself is a familiar face to you, Lyra. Casaria, High Priestess of Kentimani, levitates out of the hole, dressed in surprisingly simple garb, the same toga that she wore when she was still traveling with you. Around her neck, though, hangs a pendant of a hand. You can see that she has dark, shadowy makeup. There are flecks of blood and what look like insectoid goo that cover her body. She lands. She looks up and she goes, Desdemona. Oh.
I lunge for her.
You lunge.
You hear through the ring, get my dagger back!
Brissa, Scylla has calmed down and insists that you follow Yanni to make sure that he is safe as well, as the two of you start to kind of venture out of the place. You communicate, and Yanni, you could let them know where you're currently holed up if you'd like.
Yeah, I would broadcast that to whoever's in range to get the message.
You two easily make it to the spot, watching over it. Brissa, if you would like, you could certainly partake in the violence. You could watch. What would you prefer? Sila's rough.
I think
Sila's not doing it too hot, but you are great.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Brissa will go and murder as many as many Medusas as she can find.
Sirens? Was that a Freudian slip, Brissa?
Yeah.
Jesus
Go back to
Christ! Read the world.
I'm back to old habits.
And so you engage in that. What should we make that one? Let's call this one an athletics check. For a total of
26.
26. You move into the streets, hacking, slashing, and destroying skeleton, Medusa, and Amazon alike. You are fiend-like as you move through the streets of this metropolis. You, at one point, see a patrol of rhino-mounted Medusa starting to come towards you as you put down your spear, impaling, driving not just through the head of the rhino, but the Medusa itself, as they both kind of fling over. You quickly then see as the Medusa tries to swing at you, keeping your eyes closed, using the bind fight, you just grab her by the throat and with your massive arms just crack her neck, drawing her down. From head to toe, you are covered in blood and gore, dust and dirt.
I mean, we have a war to win, so she's gonna just keep on killing Medusas.
That will take a while. We will get back to that. Lyra, you lunge towards Casaria, and she just goes, Casaria? As you kind of tackle into her, do you want to like throw her down the hole with you? Do you want to just like throw her onto the cube? What do you do?
I think it was just first instinct, honestly. But I don't know what she's been through since we last were together. But if Lyra remembers anything, it's that she also was not strong. So I think she just wants to try and pin her down.
It's like, stop it, stop it. Could have given me an athletics check.
Can I shout out pointers to give her an
Well, I already have advantage because...
Oh, right. That's right. Sorry. Never mind. Yeah. Okay.
But I appreciate it. Please tell me where to grab someone to hold it down. I'll remember this later.
Absolutely.
For the confirmation.
I got a 17.
All right. You try to pin her down. She rolled surprisingly high as she just kind of kicks you over and you actually fall into the hole for a second. She's like, this is ridiculous. Just stop it. She kind of gets up, looking at the two of you. Lyra, you come back out of the hole. She kind of puts up her finger. Just okay.
Don't you point your finger at me.
Don't you raise your voice at me.
If you're not here to help, I'll let them kill you.
Oh, let them kill me. Okay. We can certainly see how that would work out. You look like absolute shit, by the way.
And you still like a fucking Medusa, so...
Oh my gosh, that's so low. You have horns now.
Yeah, they're better than snakes.
I don't know. These snakes can do some things.
Ew.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
sure the metal blocking to you.
This is enough. I've beheaded 2 people today, and I'm willing to make it a 3rd. So let's fucking figure out what the fuck's going on here.
I
Well,
will
you
land.
look like... Oh, are you the new
Hey,
Fury?
shut up!
Is that...
Hey, shut up!
No, you shut up! You tell me why you're here. I'm on a mission. What are you
Why
doing?
the fuck are you here?
I'll tell you if you tell me why you are here. You're clearly demons now,
I'm just
right?
gonna kill her.
Right?
I will land in between everyone.
I just want to kill her, Lyra, please.
Can we Charlie's Angels pose when you do it?
Kill her.
Yeah, I intentionally, instead of just landing, I intentionally just drop out of the sky so I can Charlie's Angels land on the
Superhero land.
Okay, that's kind of hot. Sure. So you work for the Fates now, right? I mean, you have this entire time, and they give you a boon. I mean, you kind of, you know what? You kind of look like Desdemona now.
Hey.
Hi.
Still super wise, but not very intelligent. We are the Fates now. I just stare into her eyes with the most, like, I am being serious right now.
And she kind of goes, You killed the Fates? Are you fucking stupid, Lyra? They had a plan, Lyra. Fuck! Are you serious right now?
Do you think I didn't talk to Desdemona first? Do you think we don't know what's going on?
Yes.
So less wise than you were before.
Wait. So, what I'm hearing is that you killed the Fates, and they were okay with it, and you're the new Fates,
You're catching on slower than I anticipated.
Listen, it's new facts. I'm just rolling with the punches here, quite literally, Lyra.
Didn't punch you.
You tried and you failed. You slap like
Well,
a
you're
weak-
slippery. You're covered in bug guts.
I am, because I'm really good at killing things.
Bugs.
And people. I killed a lot of those Medusas.
We killed Moxena.
Good, that was part of the plan.
And I killed a big, I don't even know what it was in that cube back there.
What the... Oh, the Tarask. Oh, good job! That's a really hard one. Though,
Yeah.
that kind of deflates the purpose because, you know.
Yeah, I didn't realize that this was a part of that.
Of course it
Thought we
was.
just ended up here.
Maybe you don't know, because let me tell you something about Desdemona. Her and I were besties, and you...
Debatable.
No. Why did you have to kill her? Couldn't you just, like, keeping her little bitch?
Well, she didn't talk about you until after I was about to kill her, so.
That's because I was more important than you.
And it's because you were less memorable.
Oh, your little attempts are so cute. Well, I did my job, and yeah, we did it.
Is there a step 2?
I mean, yes, for me. I don't know about you. You know everything, right? So,
Well,
why don't you figure it out and let me know? Almighty new fate. Come on, I'm listening. Yeah.
sidestep out of the way so that Daphne has a clear line to her.
I need to pounce her like now. I need to just girl fight this shit. Pull hair, pull snakes.
It's like, okay, you're kind of hot, but you're very mad. Could you just stop it right there? Stay back. Okay. We all have a purpose to fulfill. I've had mine. And it looks like you still have one as well. Desi did talk about this potentiality, so I guess... Plan Apocalypsis is going to be it. Oh well. It was fun while it lasted, don't you think?
Was it?
I think so.
You kind
I-
of stayed in the background doing nothing the whole time.
That is not true. I did so much. My favorite part
Darian?
was talking Moxena into putting that stupid gear on. Fucking crazy. Bit by bit. You did get the ambrosia though, right? She was
Yes.
talking about leaving it in a secret place, but then I'd made her paranoid enough that somebody was going to steal it, so she kept it on her body.
I'm assuming we got it. We're literally trying to get back there is what we were doing before you decided to show up.
Oh.
Okay, Darian's gonna just do this because she's fucking stressed. Since you were so integral in making sure that all these creatures got to Thylea, can you tell us where each of the portals led to?
You can check yourself in each one of the cubes if you want to. They probably
Oh, you're gonna be that unhelpful. You're gonna be that unhelpful.
I could be.
Okay,
I could.
I was literally the only one that was gonna not punch you. But if you want to make it so that we all want to punch you, that's fine.
Oh, so much aggressive energy. I mean, generally speaking, I am a huge fan, and I can think of multiple ways how we can get that out of you. But I will tell you, because we're technically on the same side. All right, love? So, let's see. The London, that's the dragon one, I think. That is somewhere in the Mithril Mountains. Where was that one? Oh, I remember. Tentacle Boy. Oh, what was his name again? It's like
Yeah, where did Tentacle Boy go?
Lyra, I swear to God, I'm coming up to
Yeah,
you.
you know what? I'm kind of with Lyra on this. Actually, the horned guy was kind of also a thing.
Oh yeah, Hergeron. Oh yeah. It's disgusting what a father can do to a son that disagrees. Don't you agree?
Wait, is that the Tentacle Boy or is that the Demon one?
That's the Tentacle Boy.
Okay.
Wait, are you saying that?
Sidon turned his own son into that thing. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I was wondering, but thank you for confirming. Okay,
Aren't they all
cool.
bastards? Anyway, I think that one is somewhere around the Arasian territories. And, let's see. Which one was the other one? There was another one. Oh, yeah. The Behemoth. The Shadow Behemoth. I think that one is probably somewhere in the Heartlands. Or was it the Old Woods? One of those.
God, we haven't been there in so long.
Moxena had me take the crab out early, so you killed that one already.
Well, I think it's...
It's still
It's
alive?
still alive.
Good! That means it can still wreak more havoc. And then...
Where was the dinosaur supposed to go?
the dragon thing.
Wait,
Oh, no. Oh, yeah, where was the Tarrasque gonna go?
Tarrasque. Oh, no, that one was supposed to go in the Heartlands. And then, yes, that's right. The Shadow Behemoth was going to go somewhere in the Greater Steppes, I think.
Is there one that was going to go to Themis?
The crab, right?
The crab was originally going to appear there, and, with my powers, I was able to make it not do that.
No, that's good, because we're trying to get back there, and I know how to open the portals now. So let's just take note of which cube was the crab.
Sure, that is, and she kind of points over to where the last one in the line. That one. But I don't know if it's going to work a second time, but you can certainly try.
Maybe it wasn't going to work for you.
Oh, maybe not.
How were you going to leave here?
How was I going to leave?
Yeah.
Magic.
I'm gonna kill him.
I did kind of expect that. You did walk into that one.
I did, and you know what?
Pretty obvious, huh?
I kind of love her for it. I do kind of love her for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you.
She hasn't been fighting stuff for the last 48 hours.
No,
she
you
can
guys
still get out of here.
Some of them are stuck in the bag with this beautiful little dagger. That was Yanni's dagger.
Oh,
he wants
can I
that
have that back?
That is he gave it to me, fair and square.
You know what?
Was it a gift or was it a borrow?
I'm very sure it was a gift.
You should come back with us and you can ask him.
Player.
I don't think I'll have time for that. But fine. And she pulls out the weapon, kind of ping, 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 ping. It's like this mithril little Xiphos. They kind of, and you see some of the runes on it. Tell him I said hi. All right. Bye-bye now. And she begins to cast magic. Do any of you counterspell?
Ooh.
Counter punch. No.
Yes.
You're gonna cast counterspell?
Yeah.
Go on and cast it. All right, and then make me a charisma check.
Thank you.
And she's like, seriously? Are you fucking kidding me? What the
You've
fuck was that
expedited
about?
the timeline. You've expedited our timeline. There's a lot that we have to do, and we were already working on a lot of stuff. I would like at least a little explanation on what you're doing next, so we can get ready for it.
Desi told me to do. Okay? She said to do this today, at this time.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's me now. So what's next?
No, you are not Desdemona. You are her lesser shadow, her replacement,
Oh,
her
hell no.
interim position filler.
It's not a filler if she's not coming back.
She could come back, I don't know. Have you tried raising her from the dead?
That's
You haven't
not
even
how
thought
it
of that. But I'm the stupid one. Okay, I see how it is. You were just so infatuated with having the power after you killed her that you're like, oh, beep.
Well, I mean, I killed her and I can't raise people back.
Oh, you killed? Oh, so you're technically the woman in charge.
No,
you should probably
God,
tell
no.
Lyra
Nope,
to simmer
absolutely
the
not.
fuck down.
You can shut the fuck up, is what you can do. You like to fuck shit up, but how about you shut up?
For what?
Just
What are you going to say
down.
next, huh? Anything useful?
sit down.
I am going to
Useful to
cast
knowledge.
suggestion on Kasaria.
No. Oh, no. Okay. Okay.
And just say, tell us what you're doing next.
She's going to choose to fail. Getting the fuck out of here. With magic.
Okay.
With magic.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you. Yeah, it seemed like Daphne was a little bit lost on how that was going to work. All right, Lyra.
Beg if you let me kill her.
I would like to
beg of
leave
you.
now because I have a ritual that I need to complete the plan that has been set in motion a long time ago. Maybe if you were important enough, you would know all the details of that plan. Do you? No.
Fantastic. A ritual. So bye. You can leave now. Thank you for letting
No,
me know.
no,
what you're
wait.
doing
Well,
next.
I
Thank you.
no, one punch. One
No.
punch. I'm going to kill you when you're done.
No.
Good to know.
Please.
What?
Sorry.
If we're all on the same side, we all know what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Please tell us what you need to do so that we can accomplish
That one
this
just
goal.
literally said that she was going to kill me. How the fuck am I going to... Why the fuck would I tell you any of this? Nothing
Please,
at all. She said she's going to
please.
kill me. No, please.
She
She
no.
needs to apologize. Tell her to apologize.
Daphne,
That's right.
please.
Daphne.
Oh no.
Do it.
Daphne, I look at Daphne and I say, why are we trying to have more people die? Please. If we know what's happening, we can account for it.
That's right.
I'd be happy to.
Apologize, please.
Even the snakes are like...
Darian.
Daphne, I'm asking you.
I'm not
Please.
participating in this.
This is beyond us now. You know that.
Daphne's gonna drop the hammer and walk up to Kasaria. She's gonna spit in her face.
Oh! Are you
I'm
serious?
sorry.
That you
I'm
only do
so
that with
sorry.
consent. Gross.
I'm so sorry. I am
Multiple
so
of
sorry.
the snake heads are kind of spit back at you. Not bite. Just spit
That
back
was
at you.
that was such a Kasaria line. Like Justin would be proud.
I'm glad at least something about that hideous face of yours is actually useful, because I can see how that could be rather nice. You know, consenting. But I'm sorry. There.
Gross. Now can I do my job? May
You
I?
tell us
I
what
apologize.
I am going to cast a ritual.
which ritual?
The one to break the seal.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we did, I believe, already know that part.
Where do you have to go to do this?
Good for you.
Where do you have to go to do this?
I will not tell you that. Because I feel like you're just going to try to kill me and do it yourself. And even if I was on your side and was okay with me dying, you would just fuck it up. Because I'm guessing you have no connection to nature. You have no connection to nature. You definitely have just been Desdemona's bitch since your birth. So none of you are connected to the plane that we walk upon. Is that correct? I think so. So I am the only one who is qualified to actually fucking do this next step.
Maybe it'll kill her in the process, guys. So
maybe it will kill me in the process. You know, you can dream, honey.
You had me apologize to this bitch.
She did.
I'll look at Daphne and Lyra and I'll just be like, we'll fucking kill her after. We'll fucking kill her after. It's fine.
No,
These are better than me.
Okay, I'm going to go now.
you've said that like 10 times.
Yeah, but I'm going to go now.
I know we hate her, but I kind of love her.
No!
I kind of love her.
No!
She walks to the other side of the cube, flips you all off, casts a spell
flip
again.
it back.
Disappears.
I'm really questioning whether we're doing the right thing when she's supposed to be on our side.
Well, regardless, I know how to open the portals, maybe. So I think I can get us back to Themis at least. I don't know which part of Themis. It'll be above. I'm assuming where we were, because that's where the crab was. I just start flying towards the cube that had the crab in it.
We don't know how long that ritual takes, do we?
No.
Well, let's try to see if we can open the portal to Themis, but you said that... Well, the portal to the Tarrasque never went off. So that's a backup, right?
Yeah, if this one doesn't work. But the
And that would
Tarrasque
be
just goes to the
Heartlands. The Heartlands, I think.
Oh, right.
So
Which
we'd be pretty far away.
I think you're close, yeah.
Do we want to do anything about,
The pleasure
Barge Boy?
Yeah,
Barge Boy?
Barge Boy, yeah.
I feel like that's unfortunately pretty low on the totem pole.
Do we even have any way to help him?
I mean, I could try to break his chains. Do you think he speaks? I mean, he's giant. Would he speak giant? Would he speak celestial?
Can he speak at all?
Shit. Mouth
Is he,
what
like-
did he understand?
He must be super far away by now.
I thought he was parked. Or is he just Roman?
He seems
He's
to
a
be
valet.
parked. Like,
He's Greek, not
definitely
Roman.
some miles away from you guys. But...
God damn it.
Well, okay. Let's do this. We try to see if we can open the portal to Themis to see if it opens the second time. If it does, great. We get the fuck out of here. If it doesn't, and we have to fly back to where the Tarrasque was to open that portal, since he was nearish there, we can yell out to him in Giant and have him, like, raise his arm if he hears us and understands us. Since he can't talk.
Yeah. Maybe we can take him through the Heartlands portal and we can pleasure barge to Themis.
Lyra,
like-
I feel like
that's like
you've
plan
disassociated
W.
from what's happened. I feel like you've really disassociated from what's happened. 3 giant colossal creatures just ended up on Thylea. We can't pleasure barge back to Thylea.
One of them was over where my family lives. I am fully aware of what's going on.
Okay, so let's get back there.
Okay.
Do you want to open the cube?
We figured out we can't.
The thing is already open.
Oh,
No,
this
the crab
Oh, you
one.
mean on
The
the-
crab
the
one.
crab one. We need your special juju to open the key. Don't know why that's the word I went to.
I spit on the door.
But I guess we fly to the crab one, right?
All right. You guys fly over there, and that door is already open. You descend down. Exact same construction makeup. It seems like here there was a fight as well. And you go to the same crystal. And there you see the same plane displayed.
Oh my god, she was the one in the fucking room when we got here.
I could have killed her.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Helen, we could have just.
Oh, I do not want to hear that from you. I do not want to hear that from you, Darian.
We will have our first fight right here.
No, we absolutely will not. And I will go to the room that should have the orbs in it, and see if I can find the portal one and start fucking with it like I did the other one.
Roll me a D100, please.
Oh. Sorry, Elena. Sorry.
Fuck this game. Fuck everything about this game. Fuck it.
All right. With that, as you look for it, you don't see it displayed the same way that you did before. But as you investigated with your 27, your nat 20 from earlier, you notice that there is another one on the bottom of the hourglass, which is still very much attached.
Another orb?
Another teleportation portal. It seems to be attached to the very underside of that hourglass.
Can I see into it from here, or?
You'll have to get back out of the cube, on top of the cube, and then investigate further.
Well, while we're in the orb room, can I look for the orb that would have shown us where the crab was? Like, the room
that is
that
gone.
The crab
There's no illusory display of the crab. It seems to only work if the crab is actually inside of the cube.
Got it. Okay. That's what I was wondering, if it still, like, tracks them. Well, there's a portal under the hourglass, so that still leaves us with two options. We find out if that portal also goes to Themis. Well, I guess three options. Does that portal also go to Themis? Do we try and use the portal that goes to the Heartlands? Do we go to the Pleasure Barge?
So the teleport's not where the Myrmikis are coming from. It's just under the.
It seems to be built into the base of the hourglass. You have to actually go and investigate it. Are you leaving the cube to do so?
Yeah, I think if this is a way that we could get out of here, we'll investigate it.
And interestingly enough, the bottom of the hourglass seems to not be made out of adamantine. Instead, it is lacquered wood to make it look like it is adamantine, but it is not.
Okay.
I don't know what any of this means.
I know, Darian's like, where's Yanni when you need him? But we can see the teleportation portal, right?
No, not currently.
Wait.
From your investigation, Lyra, you determined that there's a portal somewhere in the base. So imagine if that's the base of the hourglass. There seems to be a portal contained within, but as you physically investigate it, there's just that wooden bottom painted to look like it is metal.
We gotta go in the hourglass.
What if this is where the Myrmikis are coming from? The only place I know where there's Myrmikis is in Sidon's tower, right?
or wherever they originally came from.
Yeah.
And try and open the Heartlands one. Worst case scenario, how close would the Heartlands put us to literally any major area? I can't remember the map off the top of my dome right now.
It's fairly far away from most things. It's the northeastern corner of Thylea, and the thing that is closest is like somewhere between City of Astoria. Yeah, Astoria is probably going to be the closest.
Oh, right. It's like the wilds. Which is kind of okay. That means if the Tarrasque had fallen there, it wouldn't really have... That's not a good way to look at things.
No, let's not look at it that way, that we stopped the one thing that would maybe be away from civilization.
Also, you know that there's hundreds of centaur clans that live in those heartlands.
Those fucks.
Yeah, well...
Oh my god. Okay, so if we're gonna try to go through portals that others have already gone through, why don't we just try to go to the one in the mountains?
Well, I don't...
Oh, I forgot something.
Unfortunately, I think Kasaria might have been right that they don't open a second time.
I should probably...
That bitch.
Should probably do this. Don't mind me.
Do what, David?
It's okay.
What are you doing?
Just give me a little
What are you doing, David?
Well,
David?
Just gotta figure something out.
No.
David!
Oh, bear
What are you
with
doing,
us.
David?
Nothing. Don't just ignore me for a second. I was just talking to myself for a minute. One little minute.
Alright, I guess.
So our options are go into the hourglass somehow, or Heartlands, or Pleasure Barge. Which none of these sound like a good option.
Heartlands would at least get us to the same
Plane.
But we can't travel any sort of great distance until we rest. So we might as well talk to Talieos while he's parked. We might as well talk to Talieos while we're here. Even if it's just, what have you heard? What do you know?
I mean, he's not going to be able to tell us, really.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Not
Well, we
effectively,
can't
but-
try to cut the thread?
Yeah, we could try.
I also don't speak giant, so it would have to be one
I
of
do.
you. Yeah.
So do I.
I do.
That's assuming that he does.
Right.
Yeah,
he
we
might
kinda-
speak common, but we also still don't know if he can speak at all. So
Yep. Okay, yep.
Oh, you're just gonna drop a map like that? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
That's how it goes. Cool.
Also, ignore the things that are on there. Some of them I may have taken into consideration. Others I may have ignored.
Cool.
I don't know. Based on this map, none of them are where my family's at. So I think we should just go with this map. Yeah.
How about
it's better than
you
just
all
standing around here. So
make up your mind as we switch back over
Wonderful.
to the people in Themis.
get that bitch off the screen.
Okay.
I want to kill her so bad.
Sorry, Justin. A mountain of bodies lies strewn about the streets in your wake, Brissa. You notice that the fighting seems to have stopped. You walk back, partially limping a little bit from some of the heavier hits you got, but shrugged off. Back towards the palace where you know that Yanni has been keeping Silas safe. Each other safe, perhaps. And there you see, upon the steps leading to the palace itself, is that same Medusa with the red snakes for hair. You see before her are maybe 3 dozen Medusas on their knees. Their snakes have all been cut off. Their hands are tied behind their backs. She, holding her glaive at her side, looks down upon all of them. You see Amazons have gathered on the sides, battered, bruised, most of them taking care of each other, trying to bandage their wounds. A cruel look dances across her eyes. For your crimes against your own people. For your crimes against the peoples of Thylea. I sentence you to death. Clink. She starts walking down the steps. You're nothing. You're going to be killed. You. The glaive cuts through the neck of the first Medusa. No, don't do this, Faith. Don't do. The Medusas try to get up, and you see that some of the other Amazons cast hold persons on them or otherwise restrain them. This continues for about 6 Medusas until she realizes that you have come up. Her
Whole person technically wouldn't work.
Start to peel back into a braid so that they do not even look at you. She again bows to you and kind of looks towards the side as she notices some of the Amazons don't and gives them a withering look as the Amazons also bow, but wearily. Faith, an older Amazon says, I saw her fight in the street. She did not care if it was an Medusa or an Amazon. Do you blame her? No? Then, Elle, I suggest you sit down. Queen Brissa of Mitros. Welcome to the trial. I believe that my people under the rule of Moxena have deeply hurt you, yours. You had your vengeance against Moxena, but if I was in your position, I don't think it would be enough. She points towards the Medusas. I carry hate in my heart for them. They took my wife. They took my dragon. They took my future. If you would prefer to kill them, then rightfully this will be yours. But I will warn you. It appears the old queen has risen. Somehow. Darien has made her mother reappear. She was wounded and she's being taken care of now. I have assumed judgment. And I enjoy my role. But if you would like to, she again points towards the Medusas and bows and kind of holds that bow to you.
Briss is just not going to give her time of day, and she's just going to walk past her and go into the temple. She does the Medusas will die, but she will.
As you step
let them
past
continue on their
immediately,
activity.
and there's just like the argument, the screaming from the Medusas as Faith cuts them down one by one. You walk up to the stairs, and there's Yanni, and you see Scylla has clearly received medical attention, healing, and is doing much better. The Amazons all look wearily at you.
Why are they looking weirdly at me? Do I have blood on? Do I have blood on myself?
You are covered in gore.
She will wear it proud, and she'll go walk up to Yanni, and she'll just ask if there's any more reports of fighting or anything. She just wants to go back out.
Yanni, all of the skeletons have been destroyed. Some of the Amazons that used to practice druidic magics outside of the circles were able to use some of their power to drive back the undead, preventing them from rising again. The undead force has been defeated, which then led to the infighting. Amazon against Amazon, sister against sister. Those of the old way against Moxena's path. But when Darian's mother fell to a grievous wound, still alive, but losing quite a bit of blood, Faith, from what you heard the other Amazons talk about, took the mantle and ruthlessly hunted down the Medusas as well, rounding up the rest of them here. You finish your report to Brissa as the last glaive swing severs spine from head. You hear the boots of Faith with the clink of the butt of her glaive walking up the stairs. She looks towards an Amazon, gives her the glaive. She goes at parade rest before you, Brissa. Queen Brissa, do you know the location of Queen Darien? Princess Darien?
I mean, I do not. I know she went through the portal, so on the other side of wherever magic goes. Yana, do you
I sent
have any idea what
soldiers
the portal
towards the portal. It seems to have closed.
God.
That tracks.
They could be anywhere for all we know. I don't think we have heard anything yet, and we don't have enough. I mean, Yanni, do you have any magic to message them and ask them where they're at?
I am drained. I have nothing.
Our priestesses sadly no longer possess the power either. In the morning, we will send out search parties. We are concerned about the landing troops. It appears that some of the resistance ships are on their way back, but there are many Moxena supporters amongst them still. I have a request for you, Queen Brissa. Two, really.
Briss is very uncomfortable, but she will nod.
Thank you, my queen. First, while Darian's mother recovers and Darian is missing, I beg that the light of Thylea, true heroes of prophecy, defend Themis from the remaining supporters of Moxena as they land upon our shores. Butcher them without mercy. Kill all of them, every single Medusa, and every single Amazon that does not swear fealty to Darian and her line. Will you do this?
Yeah, I mean, that one is easy enough. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, Queen Brissa. The second is of a more personal nature. I would like you to execute me.
Yeah. Now or later? Or?
Whenever you deem it best.
I mean, sure, I don't have an issue with it either.
Good. You shouldn't. If you'd like to, I will help you organize the forces. Otherwise, everyone is directed to follow your command.
What if we can lift your curse?
I don't care about my appearance. Yanni. I suppose I care that I will go insane and become a true monster over time, but even that is not why I want to do this. This world took everything from me. You were able to exact vengeance against the woman I hated most. And I was able to settle the score with the ones who led my people astray. So, Yanni, I don't want to hear some philosophical debate from an academically trained wizard about whether I should value my life or not. My life has nothing in it anymore. Let me go. This is my choice.
I'm leaving Thylea when this is all over.
Good for you.
If you wanted to come with.
I do not. I want to lay in the dirt that my wife lays in.
I wish I could have known you better.
I wish that too, Yuni. Don't cry for me. I hope to see my wife's spirit in the nether will see you. Maybe even my dragons.
Did you come from Kryn? I guess not, since you didn't know who Takesis was.
I don't think so. I am in blood related to Maxena. Was. And there's a smile on her face as she says that.
I mean, if we could organize the troops, and then we could do it afterwards. Fine with me.
Understood. Everyone! Put away the ones that are injured in the infirmary. Everyone else, start patrolling the streets. I want to make sure that there are no more sympathizers. If you find them, you can ferret them out. Kill them. Otherwise, we follow Queen Brissa's commands until the Princess Darien returns. Is this understood? The eyes kind of stare back at her. Amazons who've been cleaning their chakrams kind of looking up between the two of you, hesitating. Is this understood? This is Themis! We are warriors! You will not disobey a command. You will not throw Themis back into chaos. The royal bloodline has returned. We will protect it. And we have a friend, an ally who helped us shed our bonds and kill the snake at its head. So, are my orders understood? And throughout the courtyard of the palace, there's just a reverberating, yes, ma'am, all throughout. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing, my queen. She walks down the stairs.
I hate this.
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest, Shadow. You seem really attached to this lady who we met like 5 minutes ago. It just doesn't make sense to me.
There's something special about her. I can't put my finger on it. There's just...
We're literally in a war with Medusas. Like, honestly, she seems fine, but like, just letting you know, I would, trust a little bit slower in the middle of a battle. Just,
Barissa, our cities were at war with each other for God knows how long. Should I not trust any Metrosian I meet?
I'm more saying that, like, in the middle of a battle, like, it's probably not the best idea. Like, there was fighting on.
She doesn't look like an assassin to me. I just watched her behead how many Medusas?
That's like a pro assassin move there, like not looking like an assassin.
Let me deplete my own ranks just to fool these suckers.
Yeah.
Sure. I thought you were supposed to be the warrior tactician.
Yeah,
think that was through a minute.
She gets close, and then she stabs you right in the back. Right, that kind of makes sense. Like,
and she had every opportunity to do that before beheading all those Medusas.
No. I'm saying now she's fine, right? Like that was. I'm saying like when we first met her, that was a little. Now, like I understand, right? But I was more commenting about earlier.
I always hear about women's intuition. Well, can't the dude have one too? I mean, I felt like, I don't know, there's just something about her. Anyway, she wants to die. You get to kill the Medusa. Everybody wins.
That is... Yeah. I won't shed a tear about it.
That's fine.
We're so fucked up.
As we switch back to the Fates, what have you settled on?
We're gonna go to the pleasure barge.
All right. Are you sure about that?
Huh?
Your characters would remember that it has been mentioned that a certain god has recently taken residence upon the barge.
Oh,
no.
Of Lutheria.
No, we shouldn't go to the barge.
Oh, no,
No,
pleasure
no.
barge.
No,
I did
no.
forget that he was involved.
Yes.
I
didn't think that's where he lived. Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe we can change it.
The bone
That's
dust.
usually super
Maybe-
effective on Elena. I feel like it's not doing the thing this time.
No, maybe we can fix him. Maybe we can fix him.
Ronnie just suddenly, in the midst of everything he's dealing with, feels the urge to go. And he doesn't even know why.
I mean, you know what? Show me the picture of him again. That'll dissuade me. I remember.
No, I don't want to see him again. I don't want to
again,
see him
come again.
again.
No. I think if I see him again, I'll be like, no, he can't be changed. Right now, Elena thinks he can fix it.
He's not conventionally attractive, so you're probably
He's not
gonna
even
wanna fix.
unconventionally attractive.
Is he tall? Is he
he's
over 6'5"?
really tall. Oh yeah.
He's tall.
Yeah.
He's got a blue eye.
He does have a blue eye, that's true.
He's got horns.
He's got horns. He's just missing skin and blonde hair. And he kind
a
of
whole bunch of other stuff, really.
he kind of works in finance because he deals with numbers like souls, numbers of souls.
Does he have a trust fund?
Does he have a trust?
I mean, he's a god.
Kinda.
He has divinity.
Yeah. I think it's like I would like to
No.
think we were flying towards the barge, and all of a sudden, at the same time,
We all
get the
remembered that he
same
was
thought,
there.
and we just veer back up to the cube.
But the Tarask one.
The Tarask one. Okay. You fly to the Tarask one, you engage the portal, it activates, you rush downward as quickly as you can as you feel the magical pull.
This still feels like a bad idea.
And then you suddenly find yourself maybe a mile or so above the planes as they just spread out before you. If you didn't have the ability to fly, this would be a very gruesome way to die. But you kind of just settle out as you look over the massive expanse that is Thylea. thousands of miles away from the rest of the group. And that is where we're going to leave it for this week's session. Hot damn! Ladies, gentlemen, and my NB friends. What a fucking session. Yeah, we've got 3 additional kaijus on the loose. One that has already been loose, and one that was terminated. Very well done, Lyra. Proud of you. Proud of you for pushing the button. And I'm glad that it was you who saw it, because I feel like Elena and Clancy might have hummed and hawed a little bit around activating that button. Because of that, you guys don't have to fight the Tarask. Am I a little sad about it? 100%. But am I proud of you? Absolutely. Holy damn shit. Because we just did something very epic, we are going to chit-chat about some epic boons between now and next week as a pseudo way of leveling up. We'll have that in chat, so we'll figure that all out. Otherwise, as a reminder to everyone at home, 1, we are now on at 9:30 p.m. Eastern and go to about just past midnight. 2, if you want to join us in one of these games, head on over to discord.gg/polyhedra because you got a shill. And 3, y'all are gonna fight completely ludicrously strong bullshit. I cannot wait. With that, thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you guys next week.